Welcome back to our Asteroid Run game. In this video, you will add the spaceship. But before doing that, let's increase the size of the graphics area. So I'm going to tweak that to be 550. And you'll notice the canvas automatically resized because I hit those lock buttons earlier, but you can manually resize it as well, but we want to just have a little bit more area for our game. So now we're going to add some classes. Classes are objects, things that your game does. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a class called Game Object. This is essentially going to be a template for the items that are in our game, which starts with the spaceship. So Game Object is going to have X and Y properties to track the X position, that's the horizontal position, and the Y position, that's the up and down vertical position. We're also going to have properties for the height and width to track the size of the game object. And I'm going to have a method, and this is going to be passed in the graphics area that it can draw on. There's no code or anything in this game object class. This is essentially a template that's going to be used by the ship and other things. So now I can take a ship image that I have found here on the internet on a free website. Links are in the show notes. And I've dragged that into the project. And now I can add another class, and this is going to be called ship, and we'll set it super to our template game object. Now I can add a method, and I can choose our draw method from the template, so it automatically fills in the parameter. And here I can add the code to actually draw the ship. Since the ship is just a picture, we're going to just call the draw picture method. Tell it we want to draw the picture we just dragged into the project at the X and Y coordinates. I'm also going to add another method. This is a special method called a Constructor. And this will essentially do some setup when a new ship is created. And in this case, we just want to set the width and the height to be the width and the height of the actual ship picture that is being used. Now we can save. You can click proceed on this warning to tell you that it's going to update the project file. So now we've created our ship class. This can be used, or will be used, to draw the ship on the screen. So we can go back to the setup game method that we previously created, and I can add the code to create a new ship and set its initial position at the bottom center of the screen. And I'll need to add the spaceship property. This will track the position of our ship. This essentially will be our ship on the window. So the code assigns the new ship to the spaceship property at the position. And then in the paint event of the canvas where everything gets drawn, I can add the code to also draw the ship. So first, I just added a little comment there, but we have to make sure that a ship actually exists. So I can check here and say, well, if the ship is nil, which means there's no ship that exists yet, we don't want to draw anything. And now that we know there's a ship, we can just call the draw method on that ship and pass it in the graphics area so it can draw itself. Now I'll run the project, click the Start Game button, and you can see the ship appears at the bottom. It doesn't do anything, but it appears at the bottom, right in the bottom and the center, like we told it. Now we can add the code to actually move the ship. So if you go back to the canvas, it has a bunch of events on it, and one of them is called mouse move. This event is called whenever the mouse is moved over the canvas. So again, I can check to make sure that there is a ship that exists. And if there is, I can set its X coordinate to match the X coordinate of the mouse. So I'll just assign the X coordinate of the mouse to the spaceship's X coordinate. And that's it. That will allow the ship to move. So I'll run the project again, start the game, and then when I move the mouse left and right, you can see the spaceship follows along. In the next video, we will add missiles.